Right now, as you watch this video, the Earth beneath your feet is spinning at an incredible speed. At the equator, our planet rotates at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, or roughly 1,040 miles per hour. But because everything around us is moving at the same speed, the atmosphere, the oceans, the ground, we don't feel it at all. Now imagine something impossible happens. In a single moment, the Earth suddenly stops spinning. No slowing down, no warning, just an instant stop. What would happen next would be one of the most catastrophic events imaginable. The very first thing you would notice wouldn't actually be the ground stopping. It would be everything else continuing to move. Imagine you're in a car speeding down the highway and the driver slams on the brakes. Your body lurches forward. Now, multiply that force by an unimaginable factor. This is the principle of inertia. Everything that isn't fused to the planet's bedrock, every person, every object, every drop of water, would maintain its momentum, continuing to travel at the same speed the Earth had been spinning just a moment before. At the equator, that speed is a staggering 1,670 kilometers per hour, or about 465 meters per second. That's faster than the speed of sound. People, cars, buildings, trees, and even the very air you breathe would be launched eastward, becoming part of a catastrophic, planet-wide debris flow. The result would be an immediate and absolute cataclysm. Anything not anchored deep into the bedrock would be scoured from the surface. The kinetic energy released would be equivalent to trillions of tons of TNT, creating a shock wave that would pulverize everything in its path. This isn't just wind, it's a hyper-hurricane. The most powerful storms ever recorded on Earth, with wind speeds of around 300 kilometers per hour, would seem like a gentle breeze in comparison. This global gale would generate friction on a scale never before seen, heating the surface and igniting worldwide firestorms. Entire cities would be flattened in seconds, not minutes. The infrastructure of our civilization, power grids, communication networks, bridges, would be obliterated instantly. For anyone in the air, the situation would be just as dire. Airplanes would be caught in an atmosphere that is suddenly moving independently of the ground at supersonic speeds. They would be torn apart by the unimaginable shear and turbulence. Storms beyond anything humans have ever experienced would tear across continents. But the chaos on land and in the air is only the beginning. The true devastation would come from the water. The oceans, which cover more than 70% of Earth's surface, would also continue moving due to their immense inertia. This wouldn't just create a wave, it would be the entire volume of the ocean sloshing across the planet, creating global mega-tsunamis of incomprehensible scale. These waves could reach tens, even hundreds of kilometers inland, with heights dwarfing the tallest mountains. They would scour continents clean, washing over everything the initial winds had not already destroyed. Coastal cities like New York, Tokyo, and London would vanish in an instant, submerged under a churning mass of water and debris. No coastline would be safe. As the oceans sloshed back and forth, they would eventually begin to settle in a new equilibrium. The planet itself would begin to change shape. Even after this initial world-ending destruction, the planet would embark on a new, terrifying geological transformation. Right now, Earth's rotation creates a centrifugal force that causes the planet to bulge at the equator and flatten at the poles. Without this spin, gravity would be the sole dominant force shaping the planet. It would slowly begin to pull Earth into a more perfect sphere. This reshaping would cause the oceans, now free from rotational forces, to migrate toward the poles, where gravity is slightly stronger. Two massive polar oceans would form, while a new supercontinent of dry land would emerge around the equator. The very map of our world would be redrawn by water and gravity. Beyond the initial chaos, another fundamental change would redefine existence, the very concept of a day. Currently, Earth completes one rotation every 24 hours, a rhythm that dictates the cycles of life. But if the Earth stopped spinning completely, one side of the planet would be locked in a perpetual scorching day, while the other would be trapped in an endless frozen night. This would create two extreme alien worlds on the same planet, separated by a narrow band of twilight. The side facing the sun would experience constant, unrelenting daylight. Without the relief of night, temperatures would rise dramatically as the ground absorbs endless solar energy. At the subsolar point, the spot directly facing the sun, temperatures could soar high enough to boil water and melt lead. Oceans would evaporate, increasing atmospheric humidity and creating a runaway greenhouse effect, pushing temperatures even higher. Deserts would expand to cover most of the sunlit hemisphere, rendering it a sterile, uninhabitable wasteland. Meanwhile, the dark side would be a world of absolute cold. With no sunlight to warm it, temperatures would plunge to unimaginable lows, perhaps hundreds of degrees below freezing. The atmosphere itself could begin to condense and fall as nitrogen snow. Oceans would freeze solid from the surface down, and vast continent-spanning ice sheets would grow, entombing the land in a permanent winter. This colossal temperature difference between the hot and cold sides would create the most violent weather system imaginable. The extreme heat on the day side would cause air to rise and flow towards the night side at high altitudes. There, it would cool, sink, and rush back towards the day side along the surface, generating permanent, planet-circling winds far stronger than any hurricane ever recorded on Earth. A perpetual global storm would rage between the two hemispheres. Life on Earth would face an enormous challenge adapting to these new conditions. Yet against all odds, it might not be completely extinguished. In the narrow strip between eternal day and eternal night, a region often called the Twilight Zone or Terminator, conditions might just be right for survival. Here, the sun would hang perpetually near the horizon, casting long shadows and providing just enough light and warmth. In these regions, temperatures could remain moderate enough for liquid water to exist and for photosynthesis to occur. Hardy plants could evolve to thrive in the constant low light, and human survivors might build settlements, harnessing the relentless winds for power and growing food in vast protected greenhouses. This sliver of life would be a fragile sanctuary, a testament to resilience in a world utterly and irrevocably transformed. Beyond the immediate physical chaos, another, more insidious consequence would begin to unfold, involving Earth's invisible shield, its magnetic field. Deep within our planet, the spinning motion of Earth's liquid iron outer core acts like a giant electrical generator. This process, known as the geodynamo, creates the powerful magnetic field that envelops our world, protecting us from a constant barrage of harmful solar radiation. If the Earth stopped spinning, this dynamo would lose its driving force. The magnetic field wouldn't vanish instantly, but over thousands of years it would decay and weaken significantly, leaving our planet dangerously exposed. Without this strong magnetic protection, the solar wind, a relentless stream of charged particles from the sun, would bombard our atmosphere and reach the surface. Auroras, normally confined to the poles, might be seen all over the globe as the atmosphere sizzles. Dangerous cosmic radiation levels on the ground would skyrocket. This would be catastrophic for life, leading to widespread genetic mutations, damaging ecosystems, and making the surface uninhabitable for most complex organisms, including us. Our technological civilization would crumble. Satellites, essential for GPS, weather forecasting, and global communication, would be fried by the intense radiation, effectively ending our interconnected digital world. But here's the crucial reality check. As terrifying as this all sounds, the most incredible part of this scenario is that it is fundamentally impossible for the Earth to just stop spinning. The law of conservation of angular momentum dictates that a spinning object will keep spinning unless an external force acts on it. For a planet the size of Earth, The amount of energy required to halt its rotation is almost unimaginable. Even the Chicxulub impactor, the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs, was a mere firecracker in comparison. It would take the energy of trillions of similar impacts, all striking at the perfect angle, to even begin to slow our planet down. It's simply not going to happen. So why think about it? Because exploring these extreme, impossible scenarios gives scientists a profound appreciation for how delicate and intricately balanced our planet really is. The constant, silent rotation of Earth is not just a simple clock giving us day and night. It is the master conductor of our world, orchestrating our climate, guiding ocean currents, and shaping the very weather systems that sustain us. Without it, life on Earth would be completely alien to the world we know today. So while the idea of the Earth suddenly stopping its spin is a fascinating and terrifying thought experiment, it ultimately reminds us how extraordinary and resilient our planet truly is. A perfectly balanced world, spinning silently through the void at over 1,000 miles per hour. A constant, reliable motion that makes life possible for billions of creatures. The next time you watch a sunrise paint the sky, take a moment to remember that this beautiful daily spectacle is a gift from a planet that never, ever stops spinning.